wrong with you, bro?
Yes, a lot's wrong with me. Where do I start? Kidding. What is going on, crypto fan? Happy Tuesday, and welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. I am one of your co-hosts, David, and we are coming at you from our studio here in Overcast Skies City, Nevada, with our daily, only on the weekdays, live show. Before we get into the content, quick disclaimer, nothing that's said on this channel should be taken as financial advice, so please, as always, do your own research. Before I send it over to your other co-hosts, I'd like to note that if you are watching us after the fact, we will provide timestamps for you to navigate through the video more easily. With that being said, I'd like to introduce you to the now 8-2 instead of 9-1 on the Run of Blockchain. Big Rob, what's up?
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information. We package it up in a fun and sexy way. Also, here at Sin City Crypto, we don't just do live streams. Every once in a while, we put up other videos. So make sure you check those out. All seriousness, make sure you check our notification bell because you don't want to miss any of our stuff. But also, do us a favor, like the video. Unless you don't like the video. David, do you like the video?
Why would they not like the video? We just started. Well, I guess if they don't like you.
Got a new prop. How you doing? Like the video, guys.
You're funny. So what's up, bro? You lost yesterday, man.
Okay, can't win them all, baby.
Yeah, good, nice excuse.
Cannot win them all.
Terrible.
But, you know what?
What?
Sometimes you lose, you learn, come back stronger.
They're saying you're a loser?
Lost, not a loser. Loser means that you are in the habit of losing. I had one loss. But anyways, taking a look at roll call. We got HP first in the chat. Broke Yoshi Talks, Marky Mark, Hindi, Nordy. We got Why You Loud Gang, Strictly Sports.
Steph Curry for the 17th time.
We got, did I say Talks already? I think so. And then we also got Jason up in here, Fino, Big Chili Willie, Luis, Eric Handcastle, and
Redman.
Hardcastle. Terrible at reading. We also got Redman. We got somebody new in the chat, Crypto Creep. Hola! Welcome, Sin City Crypto. He said he's been watching for a while, though.
And he said, and looks like he's an XRP fan.
Oh.
We are going to show a little clip from our government today here in the U.S. Not sure where you're from, but...
So we do got some XRP insight, and Broke Yoshi and Destroyer rounds it out. Now, if you are new here, make sure you say hello, so that way we can give you acknowledgement, props, and holas, and all the love that we could possibly send across the YouTube airwaves. You know what?
What?
You know what time it is. Bull market's back, baby.
Stop it.
Let me go. Look at that. That's right.
You know,
bull market's back, baby.
I don't want to... Rocco, when he does this, I don't want to be in the camera. I'm embarrassed. I'm turning red. My blood pressure is going, what are you, 5?
Look at that, man. $23,000 Bitcoin, man.
Wow. How much higher can the markets go? The theme of our show today.
You know, the big question is this a bounce? Is this a dead cat bounce? Or is this cat alive and just gonna, you know, get on his feet and just keep running? Or is it not even a cat?
I was just going to say, I think it's another animal.
What animal?
A dog.
Best you can come up with? Yeah. All right. David, are you okay today?
Yeah, I'm
You
good.
seem a little delirious.
I am. I was up hella late last night.
Excuse
me.
All right. So without further ado, let's get into it. Taking a look at Bitcoin, $23,233. And so we are reaching unfounded new territories. Something that is a little different than what happened in the 30K range when we were trading around a 30K channel. I don't think we got as much percentage away from the major support zone, which would be 20,000 in this case. So basically, if you were to look back at, actually here, I'm going to pull up the Bitcoin chart. So looking at So kind of what I was talking about is that we rallied up to, when we were in the 30K channel, we rallied up to 32,000. And then, pretty quickly retraced back, and then we bounced up to 31. So we didn't see a breakout that really deviated far enough away from the 30K support range. Now, this is a little different on this one here. So here we've spent less time under 20K in comparison to the 30K range. So at the 30K range, we spent, significant amount of time under 30K. And we had only a few breakouts that went over, only one breakout that went over 31,000, that went above, 32,000. And so a little different here for this 20K channel that we've been in. So the 20K, we had the first dip, but then other than that, I mean, we've been over the 20K mark for majority of the time, with the exception of these two dips, and we're having a strong rally, and we're starting to come out of this, and we are now at 23,000. So very bullish. I don't know about, do you have numbers on like target numbers that you're looking for, David, where you feel comfortable enough to say that we might not come back down and test the 20K, and maybe is 25 the number? At some point, there's going to be some number that you throw out there that will make you feel comfortable we don't go back down to 20K.
Okay,
is it 32? Is it 40K? At some point, you got to be like, okay, I think the 20K is out of the question.
Pull it up. Pull up my laptop. Here you go. Simple. 21-week moving average. 32K. If you zoom out and you look, we've caught support here, we've caught resistance here, we've caught resistance here, we've caught resistance here again. And if we can make our way above here, which the price of this 21-week moving average is $32,300 or $33,000. So once we get above that, and again, here is where a lot of traders get caught, okay? And I saw this when I was trading in the traditional markets, and I was doing a lot of options trading, is people see, and let me draw this here, people see a break above and they think that's it. I'm going to get into the market. But what they don't understand is, what you want to wait to see is you want to wait to see a break above, a retest. That way we know it's support, and then you buy on the retest. And so for me, that's what I want to see. I want to see us cross above this 33,000, get to around 34, 35, retest that 21-week moving average, and then if we get a clean bounce off that with volume behind it, then I can say, hey, listen, 30K might be the new, this 21-week moving average, which currently right now is at 33,000, might be the new floor. Highly doubt we'll see 20K again. But we're just not there yet. And again, yesterday we had this drawn on here. This is a massive bear flag on Bitcoin. And if you take a look at what's we've been in this massive, you can call it a channel, uptrending channel. And you take this down move here from June 8th all the way down from June 8th to June 18th. And then you couple that with this channel to the upside, what you have is a bear flag. And although this is only on the 4-hour chart, still, it's something you want to look at. And, people like Gareth Soloway and Forrest, they talk about all the time, looking at price action, when to get in, when to get out. They look at important levels, okay? This level here, this trend line, this 23,000 is a very important level. And you look at what's happening. We had a massive move with a lot of volume behind it. What was this move, by the way? This move was a 6% move in a matter of 4 hours. 0 wicks to the downside. We didn't even dip under our open for a second. And now when we're at this trend line, where you're seeing happening is a spinning top, which typically means indecision in traders. And couple that with low volume, you're trading at a key resistance level. What I see happening is I see us move to the lower end of this channel here. And then what happens after then remains to be seen. Will it break through and fulfill the bear pattern and break to the downside? If it does break to the downside, we're looking at a 15% move from the break of this support line here, which would put us right around 16,700. Now, of course, these are just probabilities. Not saying this is for sure going to happen, but it's something to keep an eye on. So if you're looking to make money in the bear market, you want to scalp profits. And if I'm scalping profits on Bitcoin, I'm literally doing it right now. And if I just hop over to Crypto Stackers Pro, which, by the way, if you're a charter and a technical analysis, you want to use it, there is a link in our bio. It is not an affiliate link. But if I throw the long margin pressure levels on, and I go here and I throw the short margin pressure levels on, here, you see confluence in the 4x long and the 3x short level, which is right around between $23,000 and $23,500. And you can see we've got a clean rejection here. Now, where's our next stop? Our next level of support would be right around 20,400, which still keeps us in this channel that we have here. So as far as Bitcoin, if you're looking to take some profits and you got a good entry point close to 20K or even under, I would look to scalp some profits now. Look to get back in around that 20K mark. If it breaks below, look for it to retest this trend line here. And if it does and gets back into the pattern like Ethereum did, then you know we're moving to the top of the channel. You can set your exit targets right around 23,400. So yeah, that's all I got on Bitcoin.
Cool. So going back to the top 10 coins here with the Ethereum is absolutely on a tear. So, we here, myself at least, we were picking up a lot of tokens on Ethereum. I was picking up a lot of Ethereum back in the $1,200, $1,000 range. So, yeah, man, I'm feeling good. Now I'm starting to think about where is my exit strategy, because I do think we're going to get a retracement. I do think that Ethereum will be pulling back before the ETH merge comes out. We've seen it time and time again. Cardano is probably the most recent example where right when they're about to have a major upgrade or next big rollout, we've seen, that people selling right before. So for me, I'm like, okay, how high can this get? Are we going to get $2,000 Ethereum? Are we going to get to $2,500 Ethereum? And if that's the case, where's my exit? So,
well, here's a good, you want to pull up my laptop, speaking of Ethereum. So this is on Crypto Stackers Pro again. And if you want to remove our cameras, Rocco, thank you so much. So I got the sunset levels on, which essentially measures risk to reward at key levels. So I took the high here of about 2,000, figured that's a psychological number and it's very key resistance. And then I took the very bottom we had where we wicked all the way down to 871. And you can just see how accurate these indicators are. We saw a clean rejection at the 2-to-1 short level. So at $1,635, shorters were 2-to-1. There was 2-to-1 essentially odds baked in for them to short the market. Now, if you're looking to rebuy, I would look for a retest of this 1447. And then as you get down to the 1259 would be a great place. I think 1259 was resistance. We hit this top 3 times. 1, 2, 3. I believe if we do come down, if we see a significant move to the downside, hands down, this 2-to-1 long level on the sunset levels, 1259, will be very, very, very strong support. Unless there's complete chaos in the markets and nothing can stop it from moving.
All right. So you feeling good about Ethereum?
Hell yeah. Let me. Okay. So this used to be a segment we did. It was called Buy, Sell, Hodl. We used to have a segment. We don't do that segment anymore, but I want to bring it back. I want to ask you, Robin. You got a buy, sell, hodl one. So if you're not familiar, high school, someone came up to you, gave you the name of 3 people and said you got to marry one, sleep with one, and get rid of one. This is just like that, but with crypto. So you got to buy one, you got to hodl one for long term, and you got to sell one. You got Ethereum, Polygon, and Cardano. What are you buying, selling, and hodling?
I'll buy.
What are you selling? You selling Cardano?
I'll sell Ethereum.
You'll sell Ethereum?
Yeah, because I think right now,
How are you going to sell Ethereum? You're sitting over here saying that you're scooping up ETH pre-merge because you're just
Ethereum
going to
is
get a
up.
bump in the price.
Ethereum is up 45% in the last 7 days. I think you get the inflation numbers coming in, or the interest rate hike coming in from the European Union on Thursday. The pipeline thing on Thursday. You have the Fed interest rate hike coming next week as well for the US. And so I think a lot of this is going to push a lot of negative pressure or a lot of sell pressure onto the crypto market. And as you know, the tokens that rally the hardest and that are up the most during a downturn fall the most. So if I had to sell one right now, I'm going to take my 45% gains on Ethereum. And because I think they're going to fall the hardest compared to Cardano. Like Cardano is at 50 cents right now. What is Cardano going to fall to if Bitcoin hits 16, 17,000? If Bitcoin hits 16, 17,000, Cardano is going to be what? 40 cents? What is Ethereum going to be at? Ethereum is going to, Ethereum is basically almost at $1,600. They're going to fall all the way back down to $1,000. So you're pretty much, you're taking a 70% downturn on that.
You're talking about selling a crypto coin that's got a major catalyst that people are saying can spark a bull run in the market.
I'm literally looking.
And you're deciding to hold a coin. And I'm a big Cardano fan, but you're holding a coin.
Okay, so what has more potential for a pullback? A token that's up 45% for the week, or a token that's up 10% for the week?
But you take that,
I'm taking my personal sentiment out of it.
But what's more likely to have a pullback, period? Cardano or Ethereum?
Okay, if there is no pullback in Bitcoin, if Bitcoin just keeps slowly climbing to 24, 25, 26, Ethereum is the better hold. But I think with all of the things that are happening around the world in finance and in the legacy markets, with all these interest rates and uncertainty, and the looming recession going deeper than it is already, and the affirmation that we're in a recession to the people that are doubting it, I do think that Bitcoin, particularly in crypto markets, are due for significant further drawdown. And the ones that are going to pull back the hardest are the ones that have, in the short term, pumped the most. And that's my answer, bro. You want my answer on which one I'm going to say? If I'm looking, I'm selling whatever the hell is pumped the most, because that's it. And
okay.
then,
so what are you hodling?
I'll hodl. How much is Polygon up? Polygon's up 61%. I'm hodling Cardano, and I'll buy more Polygon. I think they got a little bit more rallied to go through. I'll buy Polygon, sell ETH, and then hodl a Cardano, just because I think Cardano is going to be the safest asset that's going to have the least volatility, because they've had, out of the three, the least amount of short-term gain. So.
I know it's your opinion, but I'd sell Cardano, you buy Ethereum, and you hold Polygon. You hodl Polygon. You
sell a token that hasn't pumped much lately.
It hasn't pumped at all. At all. At least with Ethereum, it's still going to pump. At least with Polygon, with everything going on, you hodl that thing.
How do you know Ethereum's going to keep pumping? If Bitcoin
we
goes
talk
to
about
16,
this all the time.
If Bitcoin goes to 16K,
why did you start putting heavy amounts of money into
because
Ethereum,
of this
Robin?
exact scenario that we're in right now. This exact scenario where you buy now when it was cheap at $1,000 at $900, you buy a bunch of Ethereum.
But you were
buying, I'm trying to 2x it, bro. That's
literally
my goal.
But you were buying on the way down from 2,000.
My first buy was at $1,550, which is actually break even. And then every other buy was at $1,200 and down to $1,000.
Okay, but if you're buying at $1,500, what price target did you think Ethereum could get to? Over 2K, right?
I mean, yeah. At the end of the day,
so it's still got another 35%
well, the thing is
to
I'm
run.
looking. I'm looking at making money. I don't care. I'm not trying to hey, I have to get a 2x out of this. You know what? If I put in $1,000, let's just take a number. Let's just say I put in $100,000. Say I bought $100,000 worth of Ethereum. I don't need to wait to make 200 grand to exit my position. I can look at the macro environment. I can look at it and I can say, you know what? This looks like a bear flag. This looks like a big drawdown with a bounce before we go further down. And all the analytics for me, I'm not talking about the charts. I'm talking about just the overall analytics of what is happening in this market. Everything is pointing for a bigger drawdown. And we've gotten a nice bounce. I don't see this climbing too much higher before we test support again. So I think we're going to get a pullback. You've even said in your charts, we're going to get a pullback from 34. You don't think we're going to go up to 26,000? So if we're not going to go to 26,000, you know what? If I bought a bunch of Ethereum at $1,000 and $1,200, I'm fine. If I bought 100 grand of it, I'm fine cashing out 130 grand. I don't need to go all the way to 200 grand. I'm not discounting my conviction. I'm just looking at it from a swing trader's perspective. I got in at this price point. I think it's going to pull back. I made some profit. I'm taking profit off the table. That's it. Now, if I'm holding a bag of Cardano and I bought Cardano at $1,000 and it's only up 10%, and now my $100,000 worth of Cardano is only 110,000, I'm probably going to hold that one because it's going to have less drawback. But the one that pumped my 100,000 that's now worth 135,000, I'm probably going to sell that one if I have to sell one. If I'm looking, you give me buy, sell, hodl, I have to choose one. Okay, I'll take the one that I made more profit on. Basic mathematics. You want to take profits, you take the ones that pump the most. You don't take profits on something that you're up 5%.
We're talking about the same amount of money. That's the thing. It depends on your bag.
Same playing field.
So if you have $10,000 in Matic, $10,000 in Ethereum.
I mean, it's base. Here's the thing. If you got to pay a bill and you're invested in crypto, you're looking at, but you're like, all of a sudden your car broke down and you need to pull 10 grand out, and you're gonna sell something. Just your go-to idea should be you sell the token that has pumped the most, because it's most likely the one that you pulled the most profit from. Is more likely the one that has the most profit baked into it. That's just my investing 101, bro.
So you don't believe Ethereum is going to pump higher on emergence?
I'm not saying, I never said I don't believe it's not. I'm just saying, you tell me I got Cardano, got Ethereum. Which one are you selling right now? I'm selling the one that pumped. I'm selling the one that pumped 60%.
It's working.
It's working.
So you're saying you
okay, David, you gotta pay. Your car blew up, literally caught on fire. You need 50 grand, and you have 50 grand in you have 50 grand in Ethereum, 50 grand in Cardano. You're gonna sell your Cardano?
I wouldn't sell any of my crypto. I'd get a loan.
I'm just saying, you have to sell one. Your credit is in the dumps, bro.
My credit's in the dumps. I'm selling Cardano.
Okay.
I know I can come back in and write out 50 cents because it's not going to move.
No, you have no more money. You're living paycheck to paycheck. You're letting go of one. Which one are you selling? You're selling Ethereum or you selling Cardano?
I'm selling Cardano.
Today.
Cardano. What about you, Rocco?
I don't know.
You selling XRP?
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right, Robin,
I take the bus.
Don't worry. The roads will thank you.
Oh, man.
All right, Rob, go ahead.
All right. Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So back at it. I thought we were continuing. All right. So
taking a look at something else to say.
Taking a look at the crypto fear and greed index. So we're sitting at a firm 30.
30. What?
Yeah, man, we are climbing. So we went all the way from 20 to 30. So people are feeling good, bro.
Rob, if you were trading on this fear and greed index, and you were to say, I'm selling at this level, buying at this level, what levels do you have in mind? Is 30 high enough to sell?
Well, I mean, I think you gotta look at different, you obviously gotta look at different.
If you were just trading on sentiment, right? If you're just trading on sentiment, is 30 a high enough number for you to either start laddering out or selling?
I'm looking at where, if I'm trading on the short term, then yeah, 30 is high enough. Because, you're only going to climb so high before you pull back. And so, I mean, you can look here. So this is the chart for the 3-month on the crypto fear and greed index. And, you know, when we were here at the teens for the longest time. For teens, you know, 11, 13, 11, whatever. This was for, you know, quite some time. I mean, almost 2 months here. And so if you were to just sell when you got to 20, which was only here, you had a big pullback right afterward. And so I do think the same thing's going to happen here. You know, I agree. You know what might be an even better metric of what the retail is doing?
What?
Is not the Bitcoin fear and greed index, but the Dogecoin fear and greed index.
Get the hell out of here, bro.
And so if you want to know what the investor is, the average Joe Schmo, and what the sentiment is around the world, excluding the macroeconomics and excluding the institutions, look no further than the Dogecoin fear and greed index, which is sitting at a 54. 54. Yesterday was at 60. So people are FOMOing back into Doge, man. People are feeling good. You feeling good about Doge there, Rocco?
I feel great. My question is this. We're going to look 3 years from now like the Germany people laughing at this?
I'm not laughing at it. Robin's laughing at it. I mean, I guess I was kind of laughing at it. But look, like, is Doge something I would pick up if I feel like we're at a bottom? Yeah, probably. Probably throw, you know, maybe like a couple % of my portfolio in Doge. Just because I believe community is very, very important. It's the very first meme coin. It's not trying to be something it's not. Now, other people like the Dallas Mavericks or Elon Musk, you know, using it as, you know, adopting utility with it as far as payment services, that's on them, you know. But for me, you know, I don't discount community and what it can do. And so
I don't discount community, but, you know, just to kind of go back to what you're saying with these, here's the thing. Why is Elon Musk, he has such a big platform. So many people respect what he says. People think the man knows more than the average individual. They look at him as a business savvy, think outside the box kind of guy. And what is a better think outside the box idea than just cryptocurrency in general? And so people listen to him. And out of all of the technologies that could fundamentally change our lives and our financial sector and God knows what other areas, we talk about all the potential for blockchain. And why did he pick Dogecoin? The one that had no utility.
Because he's a quirky guy, bro. He's a quirky guy.
That's the only thing that gets me. Of all the tokens he could have picked,
I don't know.
I think he did it just to like prove a point. Be like, hey, I bet you I can make this thing. Oh.
You think so?
I mean, do you really think? Do you think he really truly believes in Dogecoin, as in like for what he's kind of pitching it as?
He's eccentric, bro, and he's a little out there. So honestly, I mean,
yeah.
Would I be surprised? No.
Twitter now he buys Twitter, integrate Doge on there. I don't know. It can make it up.
Make sure you hit the like button.
Yeah. You know, I just want to go to. I know we're kind of pivoting here real quick, but I was gonna show this a little later, but I'll just show it now because Daniel or. Anyway, someone mentioned a pattern on Polygon, and you want to pull up my laptop, Rocco. So yeah, this is a bull flag. So the opposite of a bear flag, right? Where we see a big move to the downside and a channel up. We see a big move to the upside and a channel down, and these do typically break to the upside. So if we get to the lower range of this channel here, which is right around 86 cents, this is not financial advice, but I would look to buy because the chances of it breaking through, and once it does break through, you're looking at a 7-8% gain, which from the top of this, you'd be looking at about a little under $1 on Polygon. So short-term, very bullish on Polygon, and long-term bullish on Polygon too. So anyways.
No. So taking a look at traditional markets, we have the NASDAQ up almost a full 3%. So a lot of positivity in Wall Street. This is no surprise that we're getting a big rally in crypto and in Bitcoin. So there's that. I did have a couple charts I wanted to show here.
Hey, real quick. So go back to the NASDAQ. and the charts. Okay. So what are your thoughts? So the Fed, okay, so the Fed's probably looking at the markets pumping and saying, what the hell are you guys doing? They're trying to pump the brakes on the stock market, on spending. And so do you think if we continue to see the stock market go up and the Feds are raising interest rates and it's not helping with inflation, it's not helping temper down the stock market, do you think they'll get more aggressive?
Well, this chart right here, I think, sums it up.
What chart is this? What are those pictures on the bottom, by the way?
I'll show you them.
Okay. Okay. All right.
You want to know, actually?
Yeah, I do want to know.
You want to know?
Yeah.
So, story time.
Story time? Oh, God.
Story time.
You asked for it.
You know, you asked, so you shall receive.
Why did you do that?
So, you know, you brought this on yourself, David. So, I multitask, and a lot of things I got to do throughout the day.
Then how come responding to text messages is not part of that multitasking? Just curious.
So,
Thank you very much.
anyways, I got squirrel memory, and you know, I got so much going on. I always forget a lot of things. So what ended up happening was I ran out of shampoo, and so I'm in the shower. I'm out of shampoo. By the time I get out, and by the time I dry off, by the time I get downstairs, I forget. Because you know who buys the shampoo in the house? It ain't me.
Larry.
It's my wife.
Oh.
And so every time my wife leaves, I'm like, like, you see, I still don't have shampoo. I'm still out of shampoo because I got my hair is toast.
You're
So,
greasy,
anyways,
haired person.
you know what I've been using? I've been using the body wash. I just,
You know, it pisses me off that women get the luxury of having conditioner, shampoo, face wash, feet
and then
wash.
the men's
We get 5-in-1.
like shampoo, toothpaste, conditioner is all in one.
Hair gel.
But so anyways, I'm out of shampoo. And for the last 2 weeks, every time I go to tell my wife, I always forget. And then she goes to the store and I'm like, damn it. And so I was in the shower,
Amazon.
and in the shower, I watched my YouTube videos in there. And then I was like, fuck, I'm out of shampoo. And so I decided to text my wife. So I sent her a chain.
You're not going to show us in the shower, right?
So look.
You're not going to show us a shower picture, right? Please,
pull
God,
it
no.
up.
Please, God.
So
Oh, okay.
I
there
take
you go.
this. This is a text message chain. So I sent her
Charcoal,
this
huh?
picture. Then I sent her this one. Then I sent her this one.
You idiot.
And then I sent her this one.
You literally could have just said, please pick up shampoo. What is wrong with you?
uh,
What is wrong with you?
so, anyways,
How long you been married?
it's almost 7 years. 7 years.
How the hell has she been married to you for 7 years?
Yeah.
No, I'm tired of Larry. Guys, you think Larry's so cute? Trust me, I've met this man, this bird. He's not that cute,
This
I
man?
promise you. He's rude. He'll bite you. He's annoying. He won't shut his mouth. He's worse than Robin. Anyways, go back to your
All
chart.
right, we get along so well. All right. So, there you go. If you're curious what those pictures were,
Thanks, Robin. Yeah.
yeah, you're welcome. All right. So, taking a look.
We're talking about the markets and what the Feds are going to do.
What are the Feds going to do?
What are the Feds going to do?
So the Fed is going to increase interest rate hikes because the Fed is they're in charge of two things: employment and interest rates. And if you were to look, and so they're concerned. What has been the big concern? The big topic when it comes to the Fed? It is basically, hey, you're going to put us in a recession if you keep raising interest rate hikes. And if you were to look at this chart, this is the unemployment rate since the 1950s. And these gray lines here represent recessions. And so here you can see like the latest one. So with every recession that we've had, we have a rise in unemployment.
Oh, these are unemployment numbers?
These are the unemployment numbers. So
Gotcha.
the blue line here is unemployment. So
Okay.
this is the percentage of unemployment. Now we have this spike here recently. This was the pandemic closure. So March of 2020. So obviously nobody was working, so everyone's claiming. But this rebounded very fast. So now here you can make an argument. And if you're the Fed and you are looking at increasing interest rate hikes, your fear is if we can increase interest rate hikes, we're going to put us right into a recession. And you can look at this and be like, well, the employment sector is so healthy that we got room to run.
But this is so lagging, though. That's the problem.
No, it is. And I do think that this is going to shoot up. However,
100%.
However, I think this gives ammunition to the Fed to drop interest rates. I mean, to increase interest rate hikes to that full 1%. This right here is the CPIs of each month. So 9.1. So as you see here, the CPI, so our inflation over the last year is just steadily rising. And, who knows? We could maybe print another 9.5 or maybe a 10%. I mean, we're on the level of like Chile and stuff like that. But how did we get here? Well, this is how we got. What is this chart?
Who's Fred?
Fred? Oh,
I'm
Fred.
kidding.
So this is from the Atlanta Fed. This right here is the United States of America money supply. As you see here, last time we looked at the M2 money supply, which takes into account savings accounts, things like that. This is straight up, one for one, how many dollars are in circulation. And this is absolutely ridiculous. And you know what? We're fortunate enough.
What's that year that it started going up like that? 2020?
2020. We went from having $4 trillion in circulation. Think about that. Imagine if you had a token, 4 million tokens, and then it went to almost 21 trillion.
We buy the dip.
That's 4,000 billion.
Yeah,
these are billions.
Billions.
So 4,000 billions is 4 trillion. So this is basically trillion. So we went from 4 trillion
20 trillion
to over 20 trillion in less than a year.
2 years. Oh, yes.
Yeah. I mean, here was the 20K mark was probably maybe a little bit more than a year. But either way,
yeah. It's astronomical how.
And, I think, we talk about it over and over, but I think here in the crypto space, we understand the economics behind circulating supply, token allocation, market cap, things of that nature. So for us, it just naturally makes sense that if you have a monetary representation, and here we're taking $1, and if you have a circulating supply of the dollar is 4 trillion, and then you increase the circulating supply from 4 trillion to 20 trillion in less than a year and a half, what did you think was going to happen? And then you have these people out here, politicians talking about, well, inflation is transitory. This is not transitory. This is basic economics. 101. You take all the money you have, you quadruple it. What happens? Think about it. What happens in a Midwestern town, small town, population 1,000? What happens if you go to that town, you give everybody $1 million? What happens to the price of the homes? Everybody's like, well, I'm going to buy me a nice house. And then the next person next to them is going to be like, well, I'm going to buy a nice house too. And then they're going to fight over that house and they're going to start overbidding each other. What happens to the price of the house? Price of the house skyrockets. And now all of a sudden, the money's worth less. So your $1 million that you had isn't worth what it was before you had it. Because now you have $1 million and so does everybody else. And that's literally the definition of inflation. But if you zoom out from this little town and you think the same thing with the nation, you gave the nation a ton of money. You gave everybody a ton of money.
Okay, so what you're saying is, that our politicians and our regulators are dumb. You're saying they're stupid. Because what the picture you're painting, and I'm not saying this in disagreement with you, okay? You're saying it is basic 101 You quadruple the supply of the money, inflation's going to go up. And they're sitting here saying it's transitory. So are you saying they're stupid? Is this something they want? Like, what?
I think
Explain.
I think
Like,
I don't want to say stupid, but I just want to say that
what reason
they're
would
not-
they have to not understand? Because you
you know what
cannot
reason?
convince me that
Here's
they're
the here's the reason. It's all about politics. It's all about getting reelected. And in the end of a political term for reelection coming around 2020, where you need to get reelected, and every single politician in Congress is going up for another reelection, another term. What do you think they're going to do? Everybody's scared. Everybody's freaking out. Everybody's talking about recession, depression, failures of the banking system, all of this. They're going to close the economy. And so your answer's clean, cut, and simple. It ain't that they're stupid, because a lot of these people have economic degrees, especially the people that work in the Fed.
That's what I'm saying. You're not going to convince me they're
And-
dumb.
Exactly.
So then why?
They, one, don't fully understand or grasp the aspect of this.
There's
And
no way. There is no way you're going to tell me, you're going to sit here and say it's simple as you quadruple it, prices are going to go up. And you're telling me people that went to Harvard and Yale and study this stuff and have PhDs, you're telling me they don't understand that?
I mean, what I think ultimately
makes no
happens is the
sense.
people that are speaking, the people that are making the case that, hey, this is not good, increasing the supply X amount, bad idea. The people that are saying that are asked to testify in Congress or have the potential to testify in Congress are not getting put in front of the people that pass the laws and the people that pass the bills. I think they're pushed aside. And the people that are put front and center are the people that are screaming at the top of their heads, we need this money now. We have to print it. We have to give it out. Those are the people that get the floor. And the people that might understand, hey, this ain't a good idea to do this to the money supply, those people are pushed aside. They're not given an opportunity to speak. And the reason being is that the people that decide who gets to speak are the ones that are going to get reelected or looking to get reelected. So why, if your agenda is to get reelected and to give people peace of mind and to give them money because they're scared, then you're only going to put in front of Congress people that side with your agenda. I mean, you can look at Elizabeth Warren as a great example. Anytime somebody goes against her personal agenda, she doesn't let them talk.
She attacks them.
Exactly.
She attacks them.
Exactly.
Like, and this is why I do not trust the people that are elected to make decisions. That's why I'm just like, I want there to be some regulation in our space, but I just do not trust the leaders of the sector or our country, our politicians. I do not trust them because I'm not buying into their stupid narrative. Okay. Are they shutting out people who are going against them? Probably yes. But like, how can you look at what's happened? Okay. How can you look at what's happened and not be able to extrapolate and forecast and say, hey, we might run into this issue? On top of that, you blatantly lie to people and say it's transitory. When, like Janet Yellen, you've been in this space for such a long time. I know you're not stupid. I know you're not dumb. You're probably one of the smarter ones. And you're one of the people that said it's transitory. I don't get it. For me, and you can call it conspiracy, whatever, I think it's all about power. It is all about power. The Fed, the US government, they want to be able to control the way the market goes, who gets to spend what kind of money. And that is why I think a CBDC is an absolutely horrible idea, because the things that CBDC, and I know I'm kind of going off the road here, okay, but it all ties together. And it's about trust in our government officials. The reason, now there's plenty of benefits to a CBDC. If you have a CBDC, essentially you're getting rid of anti-money, or you're getting rid of money laundering, okay? Government can essentially track payments to terrorists or drug cartels, whatever the case may be. But you can't tell me, right? You're watching our community. You can't tell me that that is where they'll stop. You cannot tell me that. So I just don't trust them. And you're not going to sell me on they're stupid, because they're not. They are not stupid. They know what the hell they're doing, and it's all about control and power and having their hand in as many decisions as they possibly can. And the economy is one of them. So, and this is why I am so bullish on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. It cannot be controlled by anyone. It is decentralized. It is global. It is worldwide. It's not tied to a country, a government, a politician, someone who can make a decision and ruin the entire economy of that asset, of that currency, which is what we see the US doing right now. So that is why I'm so bullish on crypto. And, you know, it all comes down to trust. We don't trust someone, doesn't matter what they say. Doesn't matter what they say, because you know they're probably foolish. Anyway, that's my little rant. Go ahead.
See what happened in Sri Lanka. You know, they just get all the money and run.
Dude, yeah, like I watched a documentary by Cold Fusion TV. By the way, did you watch that on Sri Lanka? It's pretty good. Watch it. You can see how like just a couple of decisions completely ruined, bless you, completely ruined not just that entire country, but the lives of so many people.
Yeah, I watched the video on them. I don't know if that was the same one you're talking about.
Was it Cold Fusion?
Maybe. They talked about like the family and politics and that they're an island nation and they can export. Here, you know, I know I played this before, but I think this is just, I want to watch it again. I think it answers a lot of questions. So here, I'm going to play this, Rick. Ready?
I really doubt that we're going to see an inflationary.
Most economic analysts, temporary or transitory impact.
The faster than expected increase in some of those prices is actually a good sign.
The overwhelming consensus is going to pop up a little bit and then go back down. No one's talking about this great, you know.
This is something that will settle down.
Transitory.
Transitory.
And the data shows that most of the price increases we've seen were expected and are expected to be temporary. There's nobody suggesting there's unchecked inflation on the way. It's highly unlikely that it's going to be long-term inflation that's going to get out of hand. I don't know anybody who's worried about inflation.
Over the last couple of months,
Robin, you're the president of the United States of America, okay? And you have all your advisors telling you inflation is transitory. President, don't worry about it, because obviously you don't have time to do this research yourself.
So
hold on. Let me pose my question real quick, okay?
Go ahead.
And you're the president, and now people that were telling you don't worry about it, we're here now. What would you do? What was the first thing that comes to mind that you would do? You'd fire them, yes? Would you fire the people that gave you the information that put your country that you're supposed to be the leader of in this position? Would you?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Go ahead. I don't know what you were trying to say.
I just wanted to show one last time this picture. So while this happened, so all of those quotes happened after this happened. So they literally quadrupled the amount of money in supply. They literally quadrupled the amount of money supply instantaneously. Quadruple would be 16 trillion. So instantly they went from 4 trillion
5X.
to 16.
Yeah.
And then later on they went to the 5x. But instantaneously they 4x the amount of money in circulation. And then they go and they say this dumbass, man.
I really doubt
this was
that we're
May
going to
2021.
see an inflationary cycle.
Most economic
6
analysts
months
believe that it will have a temporary or transitory
almost a year.
impact.
The faster than expected increase in some of those prices is actually a good sign.
The overwhelming consensus is going to pop up a little bit and then go back down.
And here,
no one's talking about
here, pause it. We already watched
this great.
Here's the other thing that baffles me too. Going back to you can't tell me they're stupid. You increase the supply of money, you put money into people's bank accounts, but they can't spend them anywhere because everywhere is closed. How did that not cross your mind either? Like, there's already, the supply chain is stuck, there's less supply, and you just ramped up demand by 4x. People sitting at home, not being able to travel.
Anyway, here's the rest of the video. So there we go. There's the rest
inflation.
of it.
Over the last couple of months, we actually saw it trended downward.
President Biden's chief of staff, Ron Klain, enthusiastically retweeted an economist who had said in part most of the economic problems we're facing, inflation, supply chains, et cetera, are high-class problems.
What is the Granholm plan to increase oil production in America?
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
Well, the number one thing that the president can do is help get COVID under control. That we know is the root cause of inflation.
President Biden this afternoon saying he thinks we're at the peak of the crisis right now and that lower prices are on the way.
The inflation has everything to do with the supply chain. Make no mistake, inflation is largely the fault of Putin. I'm going to do everything I can to minimize Putin's price hike here at home.
If you want to get rid of inflation, the only way to do it is to undo a lot of the Trump tax cuts.
I think ever since you've come into office, things are really looking up. You know, gas is up, rent is up, food is up, everything.
All right, that's all I got.
You're done?
All right, yeah, I'm done.
I thought you had some real estate stuff.
No.
No? All right, hot take.
That's it.
Let's go.
Good.
That's hot.
All right. So I'm going to show this this article real quick, and then we're going to talk about our hot take. So, Rocco, if you want to pull up my laptop. U.S. lawmaker criticizes SEC enforcement director for not going after big fish crypto exchanges. In a Tuesday hearing before the House Committee on Financial Services, Representative Sherman said SEC enforcement director Gerber Grewal needed to show fortitude and courage when pursuing securities cases against crypto exchanges in the U.S. The SEC Enforcement Division had gone after XRP as a security, but not the crypto exchanges that processed tens of thousands of transactions of the token. The big fish operating the major exchanges did many, many tens of thousands of transactions with XRP. You know it's a security, according to the SEC. That means they were illegally operating a securities exchange. They know it's illegal because they stopped doing it, even though it was profitable. I hope you focus on that. So the hot take question is this, should centralized exchanges, should they register with the SEC? Should they be registered with the SEC? You want to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Do you guys agree that there are some cryptocurrencies that are securities? I agree. I agree. There are a few that are like securities. And just like the bill from Senator Lummis and Gillibrand said, majority of them are commodities, Bitcoin, Ether, X and X. So if that's the case, the answer is yes. Yes. And imagine this. Imagine Voyager was registered with the SEC. Do you think they'd be able to make a $650 million under or uncollateralized loan to a hedge fund? Do you think companies like, well, Celsius is a bad example because they were more of a shadow bank in DeFi. But the point is, we talk about retail, mass retail getting in, right? For people like us, right, who are very crypto savvy, understand the importance of self-custody, we could care less. We don't keep our money on centralized exchanges anyways. And if we do, we know the risk and we understand. We follow it enough to see things before they come. At least if you watch the channel, you will. But for the majority of investors in the US, the majority of retail, they're not going to want to do that. They're not going to want to write down a seed phrase and go buy a USB drive and make sure it's stored somewhere where even if your house burns down, it's going to be fine. Or your seed phrase, you lose it. They're not going to want to take that risk. And after seeing what happened with Voyager, people are going to be scared, as they should be. So do you want someone to oversee something? Or are we going to keep trusting people like Stephen Ehrlich and Alex Mashinsky and say, oh, we trust you. We know you're going to do the right thing. Well, guess what? They're not doing the right thing. So will there be some drawbacks if these exchanges register? Yes, there will be. But guess what? If we want crypto to be adopted on a mass level and get to where we think it can be and where it should be, you need stuff like this to happen. Okay? And again, it's not something that would affect us, but to get the mass retail investor in here, I believe it's something we do need to see. So my answer is yes. Robin?
This guy. Sometimes I wonder, like, hell you had for breakfast with them crazy ass thoughts in your head, man.
You
First
think-
of all, let me tell you something. Bro. Would you only use an exchange if they only had Bitcoin?
No.
And how the hell is a registered SEC exchange going to offer tokens that are obviously not registered with the SEC? You can only, if you're gonna sell stocks, for example, you're gonna have a platform that's registered with the SEC, and you offer stock trading services. You're only gonna trade what is deemed as a security that has been approved through the SEC. So the SEC has deemed that Bitcoin is a commodity, and that you can freely trade with it, and they gave that the green light. And so if you're gonna as an exchange go and register with the SEC, then by no stretch of the imaginations are you going to be able to offer any of your services that involve any tokens outside of Bitcoin. It's that simple. And so you're literally committing financial suicide going in and registering with the SEC as an exchange. Because if you do that, you can only offer Bitcoin. Because if you want to go in and sign up and play by their rules right now say everything's a security except for Bitcoin.
But that's not, their rule is not law. Their rule
to play in their game, to be SEC compliant, to be registered with the SEC, you have to play by their rules. It doesn't matter. It's not a law. We're not talking about laws here. But you want to be registered with the SEC, you got to play by the SEC's rules. And the SEC's rules say cryptocurrencies, everything that's not Ethereum, everything that's not Bitcoin, maybe Ethereum, everything else could be deemed a security. And so you're taking extreme liability and extreme risk by offering those tokens if you are registered with the SEC. They can just essentially just shut you down. So why even go down that path?
What if it wasn't the SEC? What if it was the CFTC? Or I don't know, they don't really do it. But what if it was another branch of government that I've been saying we need for digital assets?
Your hot take is literally,
I know.
Should they register with the SEC?
Okay, should they register with SEC? But let's take it more on a more broad level.
Okay,
take it more on a broad level. What about anything else? Should it register with something that has oversight? Should there be an oversight committee? Something.
I've been in this camp that the SEC with their current structure, and you obviously want regulation because it'll bring in the institutional investor and it'll bring in a lot more exposure to crypto. And at face value, that makes sense. However, there is no structure for them to come in and put the rules in the same box that you have for stocks. Stocks are completely different than crypto. There are some similarities, yes. There are... They do raise capital in the same way that you would issue out an IPO, for Wall Street. There are a lot of similarities, but they are vastly different. They're completely different. You're talking about investors and institutions around the world outside of the US that want to invest in something because they believe in it. And yes, a lot of people are in it to make returns, but some people just believe in the technology. It's as simple as that. Not everybody is building wells in Africa to provide drinking water because they want to make a profit. I'm sure there are some people, but the same can be said for the financial infrastructure, people that don't have bank accounts. And so the whole premise behind the SEC's vision of everything's a security all hinders on the backbone that it's an investment. It's an investment where you expect returns. And yes, perhaps most of us in crypto are putting money into crypto because they want to get returns. But there are, believe it or not, people that just simply believe that this is better than what we just saw in the last video. Then, the people, the farmer that raises chickens, the plumber, and all these people that are just making a median salary of $50,000 a year, they can't even afford a house. And you know what? I know for a fact that crypto will make this better. It'll make the lives of people around the world better. And that's why I started this damn channel with you, is because I want to bring awareness and I want this thing to grow and replace the crap that we have before. And that crap that we had before is still here. And that inflation and the money printing, quadrupling the money supply, and then blaming it on Putin. Like, what is that? And it's not always a security. There are securities out there, but it's not always a security. And there are literally projects that make this world better that people want to put money into because it changes fundamentally this planet. And that's what I'm behind, man. And can't put it in the same box as Wall Street. You can't. It's different. In the same way, I've used this analogy before, you can buy a Tesla stock, but the only thing you can do is try to make money off of it. Buy and sell it, or hold it, retire, or whatever. You make money. Can't take that Tesla stock, grind it up, and put it in your car and power it. But you can do that with Ethereum. You can buy an ETH token, and you can either hold it and try to make money off it. Cool, yeah. But you can also use it to power a smart contract that can offer insurance for somebody that otherwise couldn't get it. And a power somebody's bank account that has no banking system in their country. So that's how I feel about it, man. Screw the SEC.
I love it. That was good. I'm not going to say anything. We're going to leave it at that. That was good. All right, let's move on. Talking points. So, Robin, this isn't necessarily an article, but I figured we'd share it. Put it on my laptop. So, you know who Su Zhu is, right? Or Zhu Su? 3 Arrows Capital?
Yeah.
Co-founder? Okay.
Is he's still on like the run, right?
Bro, he tweeted this February 7th, 2019. By the way, if you're not following us on Twitter, what the hell is wrong with you? At Sin City Crypto 1, make sure you go follow us. Zhu Su on February 7th, 2019, responded to someone's tweet and said, climate change talk is cheap, but sailing the 7 seas on your yacht as an international fugitive is expensive. You know what's interesting is something similar happened with Do Kwon, right? He talked about, I want Luna to be this big thing and then to watch it die, to watch it fade away. He said that in an interview, and guess what happened? It died. It faded away. You got Zhu Su, co-founder of 3 Arrows Capital, putting this tweet out. Not as expensive as sailing the 7 seas on your yacht as an international fugitive 3 years ago. These guys are either sociopaths or they already know what they're going to do before they even get it.
What about, so this was at, I think it was Consensus 2022? Pull my laptop.
Was
her shirt says 3 Arrows Capital Risk Management Department 2022. Where are you?
Risk management? Is that what it says? Risk management department?
Yes.
That's fun. Hey, if our government officials, if they don't fire anyone for figuring out that inflation is not going to be transitory, then, why would 3 Arrows Capital fire the risk management team?
What the hell was this lady doing with her job, man? That's what I want to know.
Exactly what our politicians were doing with theirs.
She fell asleep.
Yeah. All right, we're talking. Let's talk a little bit about Celsius. So they had their first day in court with their bankruptcy proceedings, addressing the interim before a reorganization. Is this all I have highlighted? No, there. Okay. So this is a quote from the gentleman's name is Patrick Nash, who is the restructuring lawyer for Celsius. He said, "We do not intend to force customers to take their recovery in fiat. All is not lost. We intend for this to be a reorganization. Our goal is to maximize value of Celsius assets for the benefit of our consumers. The firm has provided little information on its filings on the securities regulator investigations." This is per the judge, the court. Both Glenn and Cornell. So Cornell is the trial attorney that's representing essentially the consumers. And Glenn is, I believe, the judge. They both questioned Celsius's counsel on its regulatory compliance. The judge did not immediately grant the following wages motion, which allows the firm to continue to pay benefits and salaries to its employees, which from what I'm seeing, Mushinsky is pulling in a clean few $1 million a month. So, and then on the down here, Celsius also sought relief to pay taxes and duties in the next 21 days. Arguments revealed that Celsius has not made some of these payments since 2020 and could request up to $22 million in relief in future proceedings. So here's the way bankruptcy works. When you file for Chapter 11, any money that you want to spend outside of raising money. So if you want to spend money, right, because essentially everything gets locked. If you want to spend money, you have to get approval from the judge. You have to submit your plan and explain why you need the money, how you're going to replenish it, whatever the case may be. So Celsius is asking for that $170 million to be available for operational, which mostly is going to go to employee wages, which guess what includes your boy Alex Mushinsky, who does not deserve a single dime more from anything Celsius related, because the majority of that money is their customers' money. And then come to find out, they haven't been paying taxes since 2020. And now they're asking for $22 million on that. Like, if I'm the judge, how am I not looking at these people and saying, we are literally going to liquidate everything you have and we're going to pay people back? How are you going to let these people reorganize and restart a company? Right? What are your thoughts?
I was literally saying the same thing last week when you were telling me that Voyager's bankruptcy was a good thing. And I was like, bro, get all of that out of here. No, but these companies are
so
frauds.
shady.
Voyager was too.
Voyager was stupid. Voyager was stupid. Yes, they were shady in the way they marketed. Yes, they were shady in the way they marketed.
You know what? They were marketing up until the very last minute.
Who's more shady, Celsius or Voyager? Celsius. My hands down.
Probably Celsius.
Yeah, Celsius.
They're not far. They're not far off. They're not far off. You know what? You know what? Voyager just made it seem like a nice, fun little exchange that you can use. You know, I feel like more, but the problem is, okay, so Celsius, I think a lot more investors lost money with Celsius. I think more the average Joe Schmo, the person that was, I think a lot of people that just got into crypto, they found the Voyager interface easy to use and clean and very friendly. And so, you know, who you can make an argument who stands better to lose more money. But if I had to pick the two evils, I mean, I would rather the investor lose more money because I feel like they understand the risk a little bit more.
And they can probably
I feel like
it.
Voyager, they took advantage of people that just got into crypto. And I think they took advantage of people that didn't really understand the risk as much. And so maybe Celsius seemed a little bit more slimy, but I think the people affected, I think Voyager was dramatic. I think it's more people like me and you. I have a lot of friends that just got into crypto that use Voyager and they got burned. And I only know one person that got burned on Celsius, and he's a big investor. So
he's a big fish.
Yeah. And so
I know
he
a couple
can
people.
bounce back from it, you know?
Yeah,
and I think the average guy making $50,000 or $70,000 a year that was like, you know what? Inflation sucks. Maybe I should get into crypto. And then they get burned. Maybe they won't get back for a while because of them.
Well, their next meeting will be a Zoom call on August 10th at 11 a.m. So, guys, if you have money locked on Celsius, this is going to take a long time. You see Mt. Gox, 7-8 years later, they're finally now talking about dispersing some Bitcoin. I can see some similar happening. And I just want the judge to just destroy this company, to absolutely just destroy Alex Mushinsky. Because at some point, and this goes in history and anything you do, there's always an example that needs to be set. And if you're the scapegoat for that example, so be it. If there's anyone who deserves it, it's this guy, Alex Mushinsky. All right, let's move on. The Mooch. Anthony Scaramucci's Skybridge suspends withdrawals in their fund that has exposure to crypto. On July 19th, it emerged the investment management company Skybridge Capital, which Mooch runs, has temporarily halted withdrawals from one of its funds that has exposure to crypto assets such as Bitcoin and ETH.
Hold on. Before we halt, your article, your boys on got 60 in the chat.
No, we don't. It says 59.
No, we had 60, bro.
We did?
Yeah, we got 60.
Open
You know what that
club?
means?
What does it
You know
mean?
what that means?
What does it mean?
Your boys hit a new all-time high. We gonna open up the club, baby. Let's go. That's a nuke.
Wait,
That's
why are
not
we
the
nuking?
club.
Why are we nuking?
It's the button that says there it is. You gotta turn up the music for the club now. Rocco's first day.
Rocco's Rocco's first. And this is a joke I used to say all the time. Rocco's first and last day. We're good? You know, you make fun of my dance moves and you just do this. Let me turn my head this way. Let me turn my head this way.
So you just gotta keep it simple, baby.
As I'm literally doing the same thing.
You're like the person that has like a seizure on the dance floor.
No, if I was standing up, I would do the dice roll, baby. That's my move right there.
Dice roll?
How about I get the ladies? Come over here, girl. Come over here, girl. Yeah, no. Cue the comment from Bullish Kenny G making fun of me. My biggest hater. Shout out to my biggest hater, Kenny G. Never forget you. All right, guys. So our new limit is 75. Yeah.
No, 61, bro.
Hell no.
Hey, 65. You can't go all the way to 75.
Hell yeah, you can.
Bro, we
Rocco,
literally
you're the
grazed-
tiebreaker.
we
65
grazed- we grazed 60.
Rocco, 65 or 75, you're the tiebreaker.
No, let's do it again the next time.
What does that mean?
Number.
The same number? No. 65 or
We
75?
took, yeah, we're not trying to. 75 might be 2 weeks from now.
Because you see, I got rusty. You know, I didn't open the club that much.
Yeah,
good
and we're
one,
back
Rocco.
down to 40. So
Good one. All right. Go back to my article. So, Legion Strategies is the name of the fund. Okay. And this fund is not very big. So this is, I believe, Skybridge has about 3-4 billion in assets under management. This fund alone was about 220 to 240 million. And this is a quote from Skybridge. Our board made a decision to temporarily suspend until we can raise capital inside the fund and then make sure when people get out, they get out orderly. He added about 18% of the fund is in what we would call crypto exposure. So some of that is in Bitcoin and also private investments like in Sam Bankman-Fried's company, FTX. Oh, here you go. Total of 230 million. This is how much that asset or that fund is worth. The last point I'd like to make is everyone signed an investor agreement with this type of flexibility. So apparently investors knew that this is something that was a possibility. Unless I'm reading into it wrong, that's what it sounds like to me. Is that what it sounds like to you? Everyone signed in an investor agreement with this type of flexibility. What does that tell you?
yeah, it sounds awfully familiar to a well, it was a disclosure that you agreed to. Like,
Yeah, but this is a freaking,
you think it's any different? You think
this
the
is
people?
an
You think,
SEC regulate, like disclosure on disclosure. Where's your money going? I mean, only 18% of this fund
yeah,
was
but
in crypto.
how much other stuff did they agree on? I mean, you think it was just a big poster board with the that said we can freeze your funds, and then it just had a signature line? No, I'm sure there was all kinds of jargon in there, and there was probably this long list of things. I would imagine they're doing the same thing you saw Voyager and Celsius do. Hey, your funds, we can seize them at any time if we want to. You understood the risk. You signed the paperwork. Did the same thing for the other platforms. Also, Gary Clark, first here, right? Have you seen Gary Clark before?
I've not seen Gary Clark.
So Gary, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
What's up, Gary?
So yeah, man, you know what? Here's you like Anthony Scaramucci, right?
Do I like him?
Yeah, no, it's a question. Like
Okay.
at face value, you think you
I don't know. I can see him being a sleazeball.
okay, but before this article.
No, I could still see him being
Okay, here's my perception.
okay. What's your
I like the dude. I
Okay.
thought he was very approachable. He seemed like that, kind of like I grew up in New York kind of thing. I've been through the gutter. Like, hey, I know finance. Like, and I started this brokerage firm. Is it brokerage firm, right? Yeah.
Kind of. Asset management.
Asset management. And so
hedge fund, venture capital.
Hedge fund. And I started this from the ground up. Hey, and we're getting into crypto. Other people are scared too.
And he's Italian. He's Italian.
Italian.
Scaramucci.
And
we learn good.
He
you're hired again.
So for me, friendly guy seems like somebody you could trust. Very comparable
to
Mashinsky, right? Mashinsky's
You know what?
like an outgoing guy.
Listen,
at
from
face
now on,
value.
here's our strategy, Robin, me and you. And this is typically something we would do behind the scenes, not on air. But when there's a polarizing figure that's ahead of a company, one of us has to like him, one of us has to dislike him. Because if anything goes south, at least half the show will be right. Right? Like, I think he's a sleazeball. You think he's great. So if he ends up going under and being a scam artist.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like,
Kidding,
now I'm looking around. I'm like, kind of got a little sleazy attitude. You know what I mean? He might be like, instead of that guy that grew up in Wall Street in New York, he could be the guy with the jacket and the watches. Like, yo, I got these watches here. Like, hey, I got all these VHS tapes over here. And so
here's the thing, bro. Okay, so, you hear the saying, money is the root of all evil. I don't think that's true. There's people who do amazing things with money, and there's people who do shady things with money. I think money makes you more of what you already are. So if you're a generous person, you like helping people, more money means you'll do more of that, just on a larger scale. And on the opposite side, if you're always scamming people and scheming and looking for ways to get over on someone, when you have more money, you're just going to do it on a larger scale, which is what Mashinsky did. Could Scaramucci be doing the same thing? I don't know. And I'm not trying to get a cease and desist order here. So I'm not making any judgment. I'm just saying I'm not ruling it out of the realm of possibilities.
Anthony Scaramucci, you can send a cease and desist order to us just in the same way you send a cease and desist order to all the people's accounts. I'm just saying, man. I don't give a damn. We called out Voyager from day one. We called out Celsius from day one. Well, not day one.
Not day one.
Day we noticed shady stuff.
We fell for Mashinsky. This is never going to happen again, by the way, guys. That'll never, for me at least.
But here's the thing. We were putting this out on blast. We're like, hey, this Terra Luna thing, that's not sustainable. This Voyager thing, red flags, sirens, whatever you want to call it. And
red sirens.
And now this ain't a good look, man. This ain't a good look. And you know what? Here's the funny thing was. It was before we went on air. David looks at me. He's like, hey, man, you see this? You see what Scaramucci's doing? And he's like, this a big story? And I was like, nah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a big story. Thought about it. That's a big story. Because, we're debating what's going to be the thumbnail theme, the theme for the title, the show. I'm like, I don't think it's that big a story. I'm wrong in my thoughts from a couple hours ago. And I have changed and my thought has evolved. And you know what? It ain't good, bro. It ain't good. And you know what? You ain't shutting out this average guy with a smartphone app. You shutting out major investors. The only reason you're going to do that is because there's some major problems on the back end. Especially with everything that's happening lately with these accounts closing. Ain't good, bro. Ain't good.
We will keep you in the know.
We just kind of ran into this article this morning. So
I'm definitely going to do more research.
We'll come back to this. We'll come back. We'll let you know.
We'll circle back. All right. Yeah, that was a shot at our old communications for the White House, Jen Psaki, who all she said was, "We'll circle back." All right. Last article, and then we're moving on to some NFT news. BlockFi quietly reduces employees, offers buyouts to force resignations. The company is giving workers 10 weeks of paid time off and 10 weeks of COBRA. No, we're not talking about snakes. We're talking about the Consolidated Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act for health insurance.
Nice name.
It is. This is essentially what you get.
Does our boy Sean still work there?
Sean who?
Remember Sean?
I've
from
known a
the
lot of
Bitcoin
Sean.
conference.
Oh, no, I have no idea who Sean is. So the company is off.
Sean, we interviewed him on camera, remember?
Oh, yeah. No, I have no idea. So I really don't remember. We interviewed so many people.
You were all up on Sean, bro. You love some Sean. I'm surprised of all the people you don't remember him. Yeah, the same hotel room as same hotel we had. Big, tall, white guy, kind of looked like a surfer. Really cool
Was
guy.
he the guy from BlockFi? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Sean okay, yeah. Wait, his name wasn't Sean.
What was his name?
No.
Mario.
Mariano. Yes. Yeah. I know who you're talking about. I don't think his name was Sean, though. I'll find out. It's in one of our emails.
Name is Sean.
You sure? All right, I'll take
Maybe.
your word for it. Okay, yeah, then yes, if that's him, I remember him. Do I still think he works here? Probably not. But instead of just laying people off, they're offering people
Hold on, pull up my laptop. What's up, crypto fam? It's your boy Big Rob here in Bitcoin Miami. We have found one of our favorite booths out here, BlockFi. If you're not familiar with BlockFi, where the hell have you been at in the last few years? Either way, I got Shane here, the VP. VP of.
I told you.
Partnerships and business development.
VP.
It's not. I'm like, who the hell is Sean?
Hey,
Bro?
it's close enough though.
Yeah, okay.
Close enough.
Shane
Sean. A Caucasian name.
Sean.
He looks like both of them.
Okay, so BlockFi. That was a sweet necklace, though, right?
It
That's
was
pretty
kinda-
dope. That was made of Legos or started for like foam?
Yeah, it was Legos.
So the company is giving workers 10 weeks paid time off and 10 weeks of extended health insurance in exchange for their resignation. The insider also said that the business had convinced workers that they would be entitled for unemployment benefits if they agreed to the buyout. How does that make sense? That would be like committing fraud. Unless they label it a layoff, which in this case, why wouldn't you just lay them off? As a company statement, BlockFi initiated a voluntary separation program to right-size our organization for the current market environment. This is not an action we took lightly and want to ensure that employees have resources to consider the decision that is right for them. This is stupid. Why would you offer voluntary resignations? Like from a business standpoint, that is so dumb. That is so dumb. You look at your staff, you look at who's more valuable, right? If you're downsizing departments, oh, Robin can cook and he can serve. We're keeping Robin. David can only serve. We're getting rid of David.
Here's the thing. If you got two people, you got somebody on the fence, he's about to quit anyways. Maybe his portfolio's down. Maybe he ain't happy with crypto. Whatever it is, you got somebody about to quit. And so as management, you're looking, you're like, all right, we're going to fire you. We're going to keep this guy. But maybe secretively, this guy wants to quit. Maybe of the two people, one person really wants to work there, and that's the person you choose to get rid of because of their performance. But perhaps the person that you end up keeping wanted to go anyways. And so you find yourself in a situation where you're incentivizing somebody to quit that already has that on their agenda. Maybe they just pull the trigger on it because you're giving them an incentive. And instead of firing the wrong person, you keep the right person there because you only have so many slots. And the person that was going to leave anyways, like, well, hey, I'm going to quit in a couple weeks anyways. So
okay, yeah,
why not just take some extra cash and go?
I can see that point. Because if you keep some, well, but then again, I don't know. I'm just saying, if people are quitting, like people know you're going to lay them off. And so, sure, it's great. 10 weeks paid time. Oh, who the hell is anyone doing with 10 weeks?
If I offered you
don't even
$20K and
get the hell out of here, bro.
All the Doritos and yogurt you can eat.
I'm out. You said Doritos and yogurt?
Put Rocco in a chair over here. Rocco wants to stay. And
you're an idiot. All right, let's move on. NFTs. All right. We're going to the NFL, the National Football League. And if you're international, no, not football, football, as in United States of American football. The NFL has revealed the phenomenal success of its ticket stub initiative, reporting an almost fourfold increase in engagement with its marketing materials. The NFL has witnessed what it describes as a, quote, off-the-charts response to its NFT campaign. The average open rate for a marketing email was around 20%. However, when NFT ticket stubs are brought into the equation, this figure increased to 50 to 60%, a 3x. Okay, I studied marketing in college, and I don't get a degree in marketing, but I took some classes. This is marketing gets excited when there's a 2% increase in email opens. You're talking about a 40% increase from NFTs. Amazing. Robin, do NFTs have a space in the world of not just the NFL, but sports in general?
Okay. Yes. Okay, so at face value, obvious integration, instead of using a third party like Ticketmaster, like StubHub or whoever it is, instead of using these centralized entities on the outside that are making money off of every single transaction. And when I say money, it ain't cheap either. You go buy a ticket from, okay, if I'm a season ticket holder and I want to sell one of my tickets to somebody else, like 10%, 15, 20% in fees, right? If you try to buy a ticket, if you go to buy a Raiders ticket, okay, here's an example. You go buy a Raiders ticket. Say it's $400. You're like, okay, pull the trigger. You buy 2 tickets. Now
Who's going to buy a Raiders ticket for $400?
Okay, stop. So now your ticket's $800 because you got 2 of them. You go to checkout, it ain't $800, and we ain't talking taxes either. Yeah, your taxes might be in there, which is should be 8%. So you should be about $860. Well, you go to checkout, it ain't $800, it ain't $860,
it's
it ain't
$950.
$900, it ain't even $1,000. You're talking like $1,200, $1,150, and you're giving me the weird face. And I'm telling you, I bought a lot of tickets to the Golden Knights, and I bought a lot of tickets to the Raiders game.
You're a liar, bro. You are a lying sack of crap. How many free tickets did you get that I didn't get to go to?
I did go to a lot of free.
You took all the free tickets.
I did
You
take a lot of
cheap
free
bastard. Guess who's getting all the free ones?
Person industry, okay? So
yeah, go ahead. Guess who's getting all the free ones this time around? Not you.
And
Anyways.
so, anyways, it's absolutely ridiculous. If I want to sell, I pay, and the tickets, these things aren't cheap either. And so, for seat licenses, you're paying tens of thousands of dollars for season tickets. I think the barrier for entry for the Raiders Stadium is like $24,000 for the seat licensing.
Okay, yeah.
Plus, then you have the season tickets on top of that, and so that's a lot of damn money. And so, if I want to sell my ticket to somebody else, like I've already paid my dues. I took what I could. I bought a car with, and now you're going to sit here and charge the person on the back end. You're going to tax the crap out of my sale. My potential revenue is now dropped down because you're making a ton of money. Anyways, it's a lot easier just to do this with NFTs, because then it can just be on a blockchain and nobody has to get any money. You can even put in back to the NFL, back to the Raiders ticket sales. And so you can say every time this ticket is sold, in the same way that you do it with NFT pictures, every time there's a transaction on that NFT, the creator gets royalties. Do the same thing with these tickets and just avoid the middleman. So imagine no StubHub, no Ticketmaster. All you do is you put in the smart contract, every time you sell this ticket, NFL gets 5%. And boom, that's it. It's so much better model. But now, okay, but then one other thing I want to say. So there's that. That's obvious. And I think that's coming whether people want it or not. But right now, the way the NFT sector works with the NFL is that you get this commemorative NFT stub representation of the ticket that you bought. So you say, hey, I attended this game, and you get this NFT thing, and then you can sell it. I don't think that provides a lot of value. Now, there are very, very high-profile games, say like the Super Bowl might have an exception, but these like everyday games, I don't feel like they bring enough value for what they're trying to do. And so I propose the idea of expanding on this to incorporate other aspects to incentivize people to go to the games and buy NFTs. So perhaps if you were to take like the Madden video game, for example, for every time you add your NFT ticket voucher, you get, say, perhaps an unlock in the video game. Or instead of it just being a digital copy of your game ticket, why doesn't it be like the NBA Hot Shots? Why don't they take, say, the biggest plays throughout the game and then randomly issue those out in different camera angles and as different mints of the game? So if say you went to the Tampa Bay game and Tom Brady threw 5 touchdowns, you have 5 different NFTs right there, just from Brady, and you have 5 NFTs from
people who caught the
touchdown, and then maybe you have 5 camera angles for each one. So you multiply that by 25.
You remember?
And then you just give those out to the fans, and then at that point, I feel like you get more value
and you get more engagement.
Or let's just say you're a big Madden. What is that? The where you What's the Madden where you pay money for the thing?
Ultimate Team.
The Ultimate Team. Just imagine if you could get the unlocks the same way that you spend money. But you do that with your ticket stub.
There's so much you can
do.
do.
So you put your ticket stub into Madden, and all of a sudden you start unlocking things in your Ultimate Team.
And you can do so many things when it comes to marketing and advertisement around that and create more engagement. I think, honestly, and I hate on baseball because it's so boring, I think baseball would tremendously benefit from something like this.
And then you can also incorporate it into your like a loyalty program too. Hey, if you have 5 NFT stubs, then you get a free jersey,
right?
Or when you have 10 NFT game stubs, you can go to this lounge and you get 2 free.
There's so much. That's what I'm saying. There's so much you can do. You got creative people working in your marketing. They'll figure out a way. I mean, a 3x, and this is something we're talking about, marketing emails, where 99% of the 99.99% of the time, I don't know about you guys, but me, when I see it and I don't recognize it, I just delete it.
Well, here's the thing. If you've been to 4 games and you get a free jersey at the 5th game, what are you gonna do?
Go to the 5th game.
Yeah, you're gonna like make a point to go. And you're probably gonna spend a lot more money than would have been the cost of the jersey. The cost of the jersey is probably like $20-$30, and then
at the game you're buying.
And
it's just like
at the game, the jersey is probably $120, but for the cost for the company it was probably $20.
Right.
And so they give you $20 in cost, and you're going there spending a $400 ticket plus food, drinks, and all this, and parking. They're making hundreds of dollars.
Just like hotels in Vegas, they do cheap rooms to get you there because they know you're going to spend money on the restaurants and the slot machines and the nightclubs and whatever the case may be. So very bullish.
Great business model.
Very bullish. All right. We're going to talk about one more. Should we talk about U.S. Ethics Agency issues new rules for employees who own NFTs? Or should we talk about LG venturing into the metaverse and planning a TV for issuing and trading NFTs?
Do the LG.
LG. All right. LG ventures into metaverse, planning a TV for issuing and trading NFTs. And if you're not familiar with LG, they are the electronics company, they're best known for their TVs, washer dryer, refrigerators. Those fridges, those big whiskey rocks, the clear spherical ones?
Yeah.
Their fridge that makes that is $9,000. $9,000. I was looking at buying one, but obviously I'm not paying that.
You could just buy the $500.
You shut your mouth.
$500 fridge and get a plastic mold. You put water in.
Shut your mouth. I want my fridge to make it.
You know what? You just pay me $9,000.
I want my fridge to make it.
No one wants ice cubes.
I don't want your dirty ice. Sick. Electronic giant LG is now the latest company to focus on the metaverse by filing NFT trademarks for its LG Art Lab. The NFT application was filed on July 14th and indicates that LG plans to offer TV software for issuing and trading NFTs, software for NFT and crypto transactions, digital token brokerage, and wealth management. LG also plans to provide e-wallet payment services and software for exchanging electronic money in the metaverse. Rob?
What
Ain't this some bullshit? What? Like a TV company is getting into payment services. Digital token brokerage.
But okay. Outside of the e-wallet thing, you can display your NFTs on the television screen as like a screensaver. I would assume. I'm just kind of like I know they didn't say it in here, but
trading and issuing NFTs, transacting NFTs, so buying and selling, wealth management. Like what? Stay in your lane, right? This is your lane, LG, and you literally didn't just veer to the right. You just did a U-turn and went that way.
Okay, I've said it many times. Not everything in the world needs blockchain. I'll just put it that way.
NFTV.
You know, the same way that it's kind of like you've seen it. The same way with your refrigerator reference. When you go and you see like the refrigerator with the television on there, you're like, if you're watching television on your refrigerator, there's something wrong with you. Like,
it's not TV.
Go to the living room.
It's not
go
a
to the
TV.
living room.
It does other things.
It's like a smart pad, and you can pull up recipes.
Yeah,
and you can be like, oh, let me see what's
Look
good.
at those eggs.
Yeah,
Look at that.
You know what? All that does is strain the supply chain.
Those eggs
they
were
got to put a
Steven.
lot of computer chips in those damn things.
Like, yeah, and we already are,
and we're
hurting for them.
There's Ford. They're like, man, we need a few more computer chips. We're like, well, LG just got your ass.
Yeah,
that television on the. And then they also have like televisions in bathrooms. Yeah. They have those bathroom mirrors. Have you seen that? That's actually pretty cool, though.
That is pretty cool. Wait, what are we talking about?
So it's a bathroom mirror.
I'm over here agreeing with you. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, this because I'm a very agreeable guy. So you have the bathroom mirror, and so behind the mirror is a television, or like a little screen.
Okay, yeah.
And it plays through the glass, so you can still see a reflection. But you'll see in the corner or wherever it is.
Until some weirdos put it in the ladies' room, and then there's a camera on the other end, and it's filming people.
Hey, you know what? There's actually a way to test if a mirror is a two-way mirror.
You break it, right?
No.
Oh.
So two-way mirror. When you put your finger up to it, if there's no gap between the mirror
and the mirror.
So if your fingers like touch with the mirror, it could be a two-way mirror because they put the layer on the front. If you put your finger up to it and you see the gap where the glass is, and there's like say like a quarter inch,
of the glass.
yeah, there's like a quarter inch, spacing between.
Don't talk about me.
I'm just saying. Oh, you know what? In other news, one last thing before we sign off, I did want to give a shout out.
To me? Thanks, Rob.
Absolutely not.
You're just a fucking hater, bro.
So, in local Las Vegas news, pull it up, baby. So, the Ben and Jen got married here in Las Vegas at a drive-thru. So, there's a couple things that we do really well here in Vegas. 1, cryptocurrency show. 2, nightclubs. And 3, drive-thru weddings.
You got more rings than LeBron James now.
So, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck officially tied the knot here in Las Vegas. The big power couple, found their way.
Did they say which chapel?
Jennifer Lopez is one of the cheapest tippers when it comes to like service industry.
She only here's also another fact here. Why are you putting her out like that? So when she stays at one of these hotels, and I have people that work at these hotels. No, she only wants her butlers and maids and people that service her room and interact with her to be Hispanic. So like you're a big celebrity, you get your own personal butler,
right?
Especially if you have like one of those villas. Yeah, so that person has to be Hispanic.
Is that racist to you?
No, she's just trying to support her own community. Now, if a white guy came in and said that, whoo, boy,
Yeah.
that's straight up racist. If I was like, hey man, you better only bring white people up in here to serve me. Like, so, you know, I don't
brings
know.
up a
When
funny
you're a
story.
minority, you know, we kind of joke about it, but when you're a minority and, you know, you've seen the oppression of your own people, especially when it comes from society, you know, I think it does mean something to try to empower those people. Because, you know, if you think about, you know, the position of a butler in this scenario, it is typically a white dominated profession. So, you know what? If it gets somebody that more or less wouldn't have
You
a
know what I
job
think?
or opportunity,
I don't
think
give
it's
a
good.
shit what color, how you speak, what you like to do on your. I don't give a shit. You do a good job, man. I want you. So whether you're a Mexican, Armenian, white, black, I don't care. You do a good job. I want you. So I got a story about J-Lo and her tipping. Should I share it, or do you think we'll defamation?
I don't like putting people on blast.
Okay. All right. He's very cheap, though. I'll tell you that. Ben, on the other hand, is not cheap. He's the opposite. All right.
This is why they got married, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I want to show some before we sign off. Rocco, go full screen me. So, guys, if you have not checked out our merch store, please do so. So, got this in today. So, my boy Rocco got this for my son. It is a backpack, the Sin City Crypto Bubbles. Got Sin City Crypto. It's got that on the side. And here's the cool part, too. And I hope you guys can see. If you open up this front zipper and you look in, bam, you got our faces in there. So we ordered one.
I feel like you should stitch on there, not financial advice, because if you're gonna send your kid to school with that, you don't want to get, because somebody gonna be like, well, you're gonna get sued, bro.
Near protocol is down.
Some kid gonna put his lunch money into crypto because he read the backpack, bro.
Yeah, so no, but we Rocco ordered one. This was a test one to make sure the quality is good. Quality is great. So there's a bunch of other cool stuff on the merch site. Make sure you guys go check it out. Anyways, you guys got anything to add before I send us off into the sunset?
That's it.
Hold on. What color is ETH on the backpack?
I don't know. I gotta find it. I don't know.
No idea. But the bubble here is XCN, and the biggest red bubble is Hex. There you go. All right, Rocco, hit the outro music. Friends, family, friends of family, and family of friends, and dogs and cats, and whoever else is watching. We thank you so much for spending your Tuesday here with us at Sin City Crypto. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so. And if you're watching after the fact, make sure you follow the timestamps. I recommend watching the whole video, but if you don't have the time, totally understandable. Timestamps are there for you. On behalf of myself, Robin, and Rocco, we'll see you tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Vegas time. Until tomorrow, we love you guys. Peace.
Turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas and Euritas.
Helium, Avalanche, Doge, Litecoin, Loopring, Near, Hex, Bitcoin, Matic, Cadena, Phantom, Myota, Harmony One, KuCoin token, Cardano, Theta, Cake token, Solana, Crypto.com, Zilliqa, and yeah, and obviously Bitcoin. I hope the mic was on.
Say she love me, but that's when she rockin' Prada bag. Said she ready for the next, I won't not so fast. Slow down, slow down, slow down, girl, don't you crash. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Cause we can mess up that pretty face, but we can fuck up that pretty lace. Tryna kiss up, I'm in your place. Man, this shit so crazy. Never thought I'd be doing shit like this again. Put that effort in, girl, then I will pay you. Crash that thing out the park, now I feel like Babe Ruth, baby. This shit I can't do, baby. No, I can't move, baby. Nothing I can't prove, baby. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas and Euritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas and Euritas, I goof off. Question marks along your brain, wonder if you should try again. Look at me inside your braces. Can't focus when we face to face. Plenty things I could go say. Name a place I go and pay at. Said she want no boo. Been around the world, plenty things I can show you. Taking flights to GA for our soul food. Gotta pay 1K for GA at my shows too. Keep it 1K with my fans, even at my lows. Ooh. That's why I'm back. Show your man the things I've showed you. Tell your man how I used to hold you, but I won't hold you. Your new man is lame and all I spoke is true. Life won't smoke for you. That sadness comes with coping too. This madness come with shit that's overdue. You strong by yourself, nobody else holding you. But I ain't holding you. You the one I need when I'm off that perk or two. Hit that thing early, got you sleep like Kurt for you. All these lame ass bitches I curve for you. All these packs and pearls I burnt with you. It's up now, baby, it's stuck. They can look, but they cannot. They gon' hate, so I keep that tucked. All this ice on me like pucks. I work hard, don't need no luck. Only thing I need is my Glock. When there's bread, these birds gon' flock. When they dead, I let them rot. I ain't tryna leave you up, I said stop waiting. And I don't got time for these pussy fuckers playing. You gotta read between the lines that I am saying. Ain't got no time for no more bullshit conversations. Cause I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leaders, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leaders, smoke on a new strong.